Hey everyone, welcome back to the business communications class. Today we will get to learn how can we be better together? Collaboration and productivity. The questions we will be answering today are the following. The first question is, how do you communicate effectively as part of a team? Then we will learn how can working on a team help you develop leadership skills and what some key aspects of high-performance team collaboration are. So, how do we communicate effectively as part of a team? Let us see some barriers to team effectiveness. Poor communication skills, lack of communication, unnecessary, non-productive conflict, lack of attention to planning, no agreement on team processes. Here are 4 methods to improve team success. Create a team charter. Give the team time to develop. Plan for effective meetings. And be a valued team member. The first method is to create a team charter. Before deciding what the team is to do and who is going to do it, teams must make some key decision about how they will work together. Goals and deliverables. Team performance expectations. Team function and communication. Goals and deliverables are important parts of team charter. Common feature of effective teams. All members share a common understanding of their purpose as a team. They have a shared commitment to achieve a specific goal, and they share a common definition of success. The other important aspect of team charter is team performance expectations. One of the most common causes of conflict within teams tends to be a misunderstanding or misalignment of the team members' expectations of each other. A discussion of specific team expectations prior to beginning work together will dramatically reduce team conflict. The discussion should be about roles and responsibilities, division of work, feedback, quality of work, decision-making. Give the team some time to develop. Here is a visual representation to illustrate stages of team development. 4 stages of team development are as follows. Forming leads to storming, which leads to norming, yielding performing at the end. Number 1. Forming, exchange vital information. Learn about each other. High expectations for success. Act politely and considerately. Number 2. Storming. Experience conflict and tension. Feel disillusioned and discouraged. Identify reasons for conflict. Number 3. Norming. Discuss and resolve problem. Create standards for communicating. Plan regular meetings. Hold members accountable. Number 4. Performing. Work collaboratively. Use individual differences as a source of strength. Put project above individual goals. Achieve high level of productivity. Is team dynamics the same as team ethics? Let us observe if we can always assume that our team members share our ethics and values. In college and university, there are wide variations in team expectations, work ethic, and standards of quality. These same wide variations are present in the workplace as well. Would taking proactive action, like working first on a small team charter before beginning work on the assignment or project, help solve ethical conflicts? Let us ask our team members if they understand the consequences of using non-original work. What could happen if similar behavior were exhibited in the workplace? Let us research now. In college and university courses, your syllabi or course outline will discuss expectations of the professor and the institution. In the workplace, most organizations also have explicit policies about the use of resources, conflict of interest, intellectual property, and other possible areas of employee behavior. Plan for effective meetings and create an effective agenda. A figure here shows a sample agenda. The next step to planning for effective meetings is to assign roles. Study this figure here. This figure shows a sample meeting minutes. How to be a valued team member. Each individual needs to take responsibility for his or her own tasks and also contribute to a productive working relationship with others. Make a commitment to the team and its goals. Create a collaborative working environment. Always support team decisions. Make a commitment to the team. Every team member must be equally committed to the goals of the team. Each team member has skills to contribute. You can choose to make team effort a priority. Do not allow a weak team effort to become a negative part of your personal brand. Create a collaborative working environment. Try to listen without criticism or judgment. Give everyone a chance to participate. When given feedback, always respond constructively. Finally, identify and address possible conflicts before they grow silently into something harder to manage. Create a collaborative working environment. Learn simple non-judgmental prompts, questions, and phrases that encourage people to continue speaking once they have started. For example, support team decisions. It is critical That we support team decisions, even if the team has made a decision that differs from what we wanted. For example, look at this. I understand everyone's opinion. Paraphrase all opinions to demonstrate your understanding. Include your own opinion last. The team seems to prefer, describe preference. As discussed, I have a different preference. I am happy to support the team preference going forward. I know that you will have opportunities to support my ideas later in this project. Remember to avoid using the words but and however when you agree to disagree. These words can make your full support seem less sincere. How can working on a team help us develop leadership skills? Leadership can manifest in a number of ways. For example, a single team leader for the duration of a project. Shared leadership of a team, leadership of different aspects of a project. Identify and practice key leadership fundamentals. An effective leader is a person who has the skills to bring out the best in others, manage work processes, and help the team succeed. Here are some things we can do. Over-communicate. Reinforce team objectives. And create a supportive climate. Let us identify and practice key leadership fundamentals. The first one being over-communicating. Be as transparent as possible. We should share all information we have, all decisions made, and all new incoming communications with the team. The more we communicate with our team, the more they will trust our leadership. Force team objectives. Keep the team focused on the ultimate objective and remind the team why that goal is valuable. Create opportunities for the team to communicate synchronously. Team members need to discuss progress, share updates, and encourage feedback and input. Create a supportive climate. Teams work best when team members feel that they can take risks and will be listened to and respected. Set the tone for the team by encouraging creativity and being a positive and respectful role model. An experienced leader will model effective listening, questioning, and paraphrasing techniques to ensure that all members of the team know their input has been heard. Use the best out of a situation. Conflict plays an important and significant part in team development. The most formative conflict appears in the storming phase of team development. Storming can happen more than once in a team's life cycle. Let us study a bit about the types of conflict. Cognitive conflict results from differences in understanding content or tasks. Working through a cognitive conflict often leads to better decisions and work products. Affective conflict results from differences in personalities and relationships. If affective conflicts remain unstated and unaddressed, they can lead to tension, stress, and dysfunctional work processes. A good leader knows how to identify which type of conflict is unfolding and is able to guide the team through the appropriate conflict management stages. How do we identify the cause of the conflict? A visual representation to illustrate causes of conflict. Causes of cognitive conflicts can be faulty assumptions, differences of opinion, competing goals. Causes of affective conflicts can be relational issues or ego issues. We need to select an appropriate management technique. Here are some techniques often chosen. Avoidance is very rarely a good choice. Can work if the conflict is truly unsolvable. Everyone loses when avoidance is chosen as the conflict tends to escalate. The other is accommodation. Giving in and letting the other person his or her way. A wise choice if the person giving in has changed his or her mind or when the issue is not very significant. Can be unwise if giving in compromises ideals and values. It can lead to unhealthy groupthink. Competition is another management technique. Resolution will include a sense of winner versus loser, which is unhealthy for team dynamics. It can result in quick resolution at the cost of team cohesion. Another technique is to compromise. It is more cooperative than competing. Everyone gets a part of what they want, but everyone has to sacrifice something. It can work well to find a quick solution under pressure. The last technique is collaboration. It can be time-consuming, yet is often the best approach for complex problems. Here, all parties work together to find the best solution. Let us now talk about some key aspects of high-performance team collaboration. How do we get to the performing stage? Here is what it requires. Deep commitment by all members. Very hard work. And finally, results. It is a team experience that is exhilarating and rewarding. Enhance productivity with virtual best practices. A quote by Farazi explains how important moderating virtual meetups regarding teamwork is. It goes like, just because we are in a technology-enabled world and we don't see each other doesn't necessarily mean that we're doing the right things to enable the technology. Start face-to-face. Always launch your team face-to-face. This mode is still the richest and helps establish relationships early. Stay aware of possible cultural diversity and regional sensitivities. Be aware of time zone implications for real-time virtual meetings. Be aware of cultural regional holidays and celebrations when scheduling online meetings and events. Remember levels of directness, formality, context, and other variables. Make it safe for team members to ask for items to be clarified. Be patient when team members need communication to be clarified. Be fearless about asking for clarification when you need it. Here is how we can be prepared and present during online meetings. Read materials that have been distributed ahead of time. Be ready to discuss the distributed materials. Make sure to avoid misuse of meeting time. Don't use meeting time for reporting in on status. Use for problem solving, brainstorming, and idea generation. Get the best of the time. Optimize the video interface. Avoid multitasking, looking away, or looking at our phone. Remember, we are on camera. Put your full attention on the camera, the conversation, and the ideas. Make sure evidence of your full attention like facial expression, gestures, and posture is clearly visible. Create a space online for information communication. Select a separate space for informal communication, personal updates, and other types of relational interaction. Remember that the meeting after the meeting is often very valuable. Let us see what technology we can use to take our team online. File sharing and real-time collaborative writing can be achieved with Google Docs and similar. Brainstorming and getting feedback on ideas can be achieved through the use of virtual whiteboards, blogs, note-sharing apps like Evernote and similar. Sharing knowledge becomes easier with Wikis and similar. Develop the C factor in the team. D. Thompson, in 2015, said there is a growing sense that the internet can destroy interpersonal skills, kill our emotional intelligence, and turn us into warm-blooded versions of the very robots that we fear will one day take our jobs. But these studies suggest that the rules of empathy hold both on and offline. Emotionally sensitive people are gifted at reading between the lines, whether the literal lines are brow wrinkles or text messages. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Make sure your team has adequate social or play time. Build in social time for your team to get to know each other well. The higher the level of interpersonal knowledge, the easier it is to build trust and to build a literacy of each other's nonverbal cues. Some successful teams participate in recreational sports together or have family meals together on the occasional weekend. So what can we do to include equal turn-taking in our team charter? Equally shared participation makes it difficult for a conversation to be controlled by one or two individuals. Power, in the form of participation and ideas, is evenly distributed by agreement. Including equal turn-taking in our team charter. Many Canadian First Nations can trace a long history of this kind of participatory communication style. The use of a talking stick is an ancient and powerful communication tool that ensures a code of conduct of respect during meetings is followed. The person holding the stick, and only that person, is designated as having the right to speak, and all others must listen quietly and respectfully. Here are some suggestions for using a talking stick. Let the most senior member speak first. All in attendance are expected to listen with respect, quietness, and full attention. We should be sure to turn our phone off. Listen carefully. Do not repeat information that has already been shared. Do not rush or interrupt the person speaking. When the speaker is finished, he or she will pass the stick to the next person. If the receiver does not wish to speak, he or she can pass the stick to the next person. If we are handed the talking stick and wish to speak, we introduce ourselves first. When everyone who wishes to speak has spoken, the talking stick is placed in the center of the table. At the end of the meeting, a designated team member will be in charge of keeping it safe and bringing it to the next meeting. So how do we adapt the talking stick concept for virtual use? For that, we include some kind of gift exchange during the face-to-face team launch. Each team member could arrive with one item to exchange with another team member, such as a pen or a hat from the gift giver's home region. During future virtual meetings, turns can be taken and symbolized by each speaker using the gift that was presented when the team was last together in the same space. Thinking of culture in this reference, let us create a C-factor team culture. Observe that each team will respond to different fun activities. Our teams may need to try a few different types of activities for social time together. Observe carefully what works best to help your team build better relationships. Ask a mentor or supervisor about successful teams. Most successful teams have had some form of C factor, usually developed through social activities. What do your respected mentors and supervisors advise? It is research time. Find out what you can about emotional intelligence, EI, and emotional quotient, EQ. Team performance and cohesion seem to be linked to being able to know and understand each other's nonverbal signals and emotional states. Can you develop literacy in reading the nonverbal cues of your teammates and co-workers? How? Let us look at this peer coaching model for feedback and learn how to use it. The triangle is as follows. Sally coaches Jocelyn on her effectiveness during meetings and on email tone and professionalism. Jocelyn coaches Ted on his email clarity and his multitasking behavior. Ted coaches Sally on her phone call clarity and her email content. What are the things to keep in mind when we are a coach? Maintain focus on the other person. That is so that we do not become the focus of a coaching conversation. Listen carefully and ask simple questions. This signals our level of attention, empathy, and support. Try to avoid criticism. Instead, offer alternatives. Judgmental statements will erode the trust we need to build as a coach. What do we do when we are the ones being coached? We need to set aside a regular coaching time. Agree to meet with the peer coach at a regular time and place. The time can be informal and also may work well in a virtual setting. Always ask for feedback. Here are 2 examples. Thanks for agreeing to do this. I am really interested in improving. Did you see anything this week that you feel I could have done better? Or we can say, I thought my presentation on Monday was pretty good. What did you think? I'd really like your honest opinion so I can improve. Good coaching almost always leads to high self-awareness. The illustrated bar graph shows high self-awareness leads to better team performance. People with strong coaching skills experience an unexpected benefit, increased self-awareness. The best peer coaches tend to reflect on their own behavior to examine what they could be doing better themselves. Let us revise what we learned today. In the Analyze section, we learned discussing and reviewing goals, deliverables, expectations, and communications. We make sure all team members are involved. We learned to employ all available listening skills. We learned observing carefully for possible conflicts related to communication style, culture, diversity, or other factors. Now coming to the compassing section, we learned how to create a team charter that makes all process agreements explicit. We learned to use clear, unambiguous language, to use positive language, agendas and minutes for each meeting, ensure speaking time is shared equally during meetings and creating opportunities for social team time. Finally, in the Evaluate section, we learned to ask for feedback on verbal exchanges to ensure understanding and to use peer coaching model for detailed feedback.